All right. So Frank, talk a little bit about your journey from sort of the high-tech business, right, which is where
Yeah.
you were, through halftime to try to figure out what your calling is, and then finally end up focus on the family.
Well, it was about 3 years ago. I decided that I had spent so many years of my life working in software development and creating companies and creating wealth. And my wife and I decided that there was a better way for us, that we had more to offer, and that God was calling us to give our lives away, both of us. So we set out on a year adventure to sell our companies, our software development companies, and it was the greatest thing we ever did because we took a step of faith. We had no idea where God was calling us, and we just felt like there was a more significant purpose for our lives. And so after a year of divesting ourselves of our business interests, we started praying and took a lot of time evaluating what God had for us, and what a great decision it was for us to pray and put our lives into God's hands, and look for the doors that He wanted to open for us. And for me personally, it meant landing in Focus on the Family, and a focus door opened up, and I went through it, and for the first time in my life, hooked up with a bunch of guys who were like-minded and who felt like they were in the same position that I was in, and so I worked in community impact outreach. I spend my time working in hurting communities around the country, which I just love because I can bring to that effort and to the initiatives that we work on. I can bring a lot of my business skills. I can bring a lot of my technology skills, and just help people who are in communities that are hurting. And as a real, what the mission that we work on at Focus is really trying to identify families who are broken, and moving them on the spectrum, on this continuum from broken to thriving. And we define a broken family as one that has a hard time taking care of itself. And then there's an intermediate step where we consider that a healthy family, a family that is really good about taking care of their finances, a family that's good about taking care of their children aren't in trouble or don't have huge issues to deal with. But then there's this concept of a thriving family, which is a family.
Well, let me stop you there
Okay.
because one of the things that I noticed with halftime guys is we sort of feel like, gosh, now that I got some margin, I'm going to go home and create the perfect family. I'm going to be at every soccer game. I'm going to create the perfect family for us, for me and my family, and that's going to be wonderful. But you don't get a thriving family by doing that.
No.
So talk, because that to me is huge, and yet, and that's why I think Focus is so good at this space. So talk to us about what you're learning there.
Okay, what I'm learning is that that being a family that is able to take care of itself is not ultimately what God has for us in terms of a design. A thriving family is one that has the ability to not only care for their children and their parents and themselves, but one that has the ability to reach out beyond their family into the community or into the church, and assist other families that need help. And so it's great to see that because when families do that, when families thrive, it's like a light comes on and they know it, because all of a sudden they're contributing in a way that I believe is biblically based, and reaching out and touching other people, and helping other people learn what you already know. And so that's our definition of thriving.